In this video, we're going to go over how to use the Media Network to track and tally pay for various tasks. This feature is available to those with both the Publisher Admin's role and the Finance Manager role. To get started, click Admin on the top of your dashboard. Then click Groups. This page shows all of the groups for which you're an administrator. In this example, I have permissions for the KSL.com publisher. Select the group for which you would like to apply a pay rule. A pay rule is a way to program the site to count a monthly tally of certain tasks you expect to pay for, including per story, per word written or edited, or per photo uploaded or edited, etc. On this table, on the right column labeled Links, click on the last button, Payment Rules. On the top of the page, click Add a New Rule. When you create a payment rule, the rule will apply to tasks associated with stories that belong to that group and any group below in the publisher group tree. The pay rule trickles down, meaning, in this example, if I create a payment rule in the KSL Sports group, it will only apply to any story that belongs to that group or any group below it, such as a Utah Jazz story. Next, select which publisher you would like to pay for this rule. It is likely you will only have one or two publishers. If you have more than one publisher in your network, this is important. The system is going to auto-select the first publisher on your publisher list as the publisher responsible for paying the tally at the end of the monthly pay period. This allows you, if you choose, to select a different publisher for various payrolls. Maybe one publisher in your network pays for political articles, but another one of your publishers pays for sports photography. This is where you can customize it, so make sure you select the correct publisher to fit the bill. Next, select which task type you want the rule applied to. In this example, we'll use an edit article task. This means that I'm intending to pay someone, likely an independent contractor or a group of trained contractors, for their work editing articles. Then you select the trigger time of which you would like the user to be paid for that task. You can either select task completion or at the time of the article being published. Next, you have the chance to choose which user you want the rule applied for. In this example, I'm going to type in a user's name, someone who I trust to edit content, perhaps remotely from home. Or if you have a group of editors who you want to pay and don't want to create a payroll for each one of them, you may want to create a blanket rule that will cover the same type of payroll for all of them, meaning any person who edits stories that belong to that group or any group below it will show up in your pay report. For example, if I'm doing a blanket rule, I'm going to delete the individual's name here and leave the field blank. And then I'm going to come down here to employment status and choose whether I want the blanket rule to apply to employees only, contributors only, or anyone who edits stories in the sports group. I'm going to choose contributor for this example, so only my at-home editors will show up in the pay report. That way the names of employee editors don't show up on my pay report at the end of the month, because they're already paid hourly or salary. Next, select which payment rule you would like to use. Select Base if this is a task you want the user or users to be paid a flat rate for completing, regardless of how much content involved. So if it's an editing task, the editor gets paid the same amount for a 200-word story as a 1,200-word story. Or select Rate if you would like the user or users to be paid by the amount of content, like per word, per photo, per video, depending on the type of task you selected. Because I selected the edit article task type, I've decided to make this a rate payment rule type, meaning the user will be paid per word edited. Select the payment amount. In this example, let's put 0.01. That means any contributor who has permission to edit sports stories will be credited at 1 cent per word, because it's an edit article task. The site will automatically calculate how many words are in each task type, so you don't have to do the math later. You can also create a custom payment field. The rules are rare, but most often apply to forms of frequent reimbursement. For example, we use this rule to reimburse photographers for miles driven or for other viable expenses like parking passes and batteries for their equipment. Custom rules require the user to enter information about their expenses before the site will tally their total. When this type of rule is created, users will see a task in their to-do list labeled compensation, and again, they will be responsible for filling out compensation information for each story. If you want to create a custom payment field, first fill out all the above information except for payment amount, and make sure to select Base as the payment rule type. The site won't let you proceed if you select Rate in that field. In the field Custom Name 1, title what you're going to be frequently reimbursing the user for. For example, we use this form of compensation to reimburse employees for mileage traveled while reporting a story. Then you can select if the user will be paid on a base or rate in the Custom Type 1 field. For this example, you would choose Rate to tally dollars per mile. A field will then appear where you can type how many dollars per unit the user will be paid. In this case, the user will be paid per mile, so you'll fill out how many dollars you want the user to be paid per mile. Right now, we reimburse our employees 57.5 cents per mile, so I put 0.57 in that field. You will want to select Base if the custom pay is for frequent purchases of things like parking passes or batteries for a camera. Then the user will have to fill in the exact amount owed in their compensation task. If you have any questions about this process, feel free to contact the Deseret Connect help team.